evening, everybody. It's Billy Keys. Today, I sort of want to share something with you. I want to share sort of my preferences in musical styles. It's sort of a epiphany I had in sort of realizing this. Now, before I share this, I want to give sort of, some background information about who I am musically, just so you can sort of understand where my thought process is. So, in a nutshell, I'm a musician, obviously. I play a number of instruments, and I'll probably maybe one day make another video going through the various instruments I play and what level I can play them at. But for now, I play mainly piano and saxophone. And I've played piano for about maybe 15 years, and I've played saxophone for 8 or 9 years. And I do play in a more or less active capacity. I play with a number of bands. Currently I'm with about maybe 3 or 4 bands, and I play actively in church pretty often, almost every Sunday. So I'm a performer. I am also a composer. I'm actually studying as a graduate student at APU music composition. So there's a bit of background information on who I am musically. And with that, I'm going to proceed with my musical preferences. One thing that I sort of realized, and I really don't know how to take it, is that my favorite type of music to play is different than my favorite type of music to listen to. And both of those styles also tend to be different than my favorite type of music to compose. Now, composing music can be a video in and of itself, but I'm mainly going to talk about my favorite type of music to play and my favorite type of music to listen to. My favorite type of music to play would probably have to be jazz music. Specifically sort of that 60s, 70s post-bop cool jazz. Sort of in the camp of Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard, Pharoah Sanders, even more modern-esque stuff like Christian Scott, stuff like that. That's some of my favorite types of music to play. I also enjoy sort of playing classic rock, prog rock, stuff like, the Comets, the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Sam and Dave, the Blues Brothers. I know the Blues Brothers aren't really, that much rock. I mean, compared maybe to like Pink Floyd or AC/DC, but they're fun to play. But the main thing in this video that, is really getting me is my favorite type of music to listen to, just to passively listen to. And when I tell you what it is, especially if you know me, you're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to think I am mentally insane. And this perception will probably be amplified if you are also a musician, like I am. So here we go. My favorite type of music to listen to, just passively, believe it or not, is actually modern pop music and modern hip-hop music. But wait a minute, it's all garbage. Yes, I know. Modern pop music is very harmonically simple, and it is very repetitive, and it all sounds the same. But that's actually sort of why I like it. Why I like listening to it. Because its harmonic structure is very simplified, and as far as form goes, it's very repetitive, just repeats the same 2 or 3 sections throughout the whole song. And I guess this sort of came as sort of a reaction against all the harmonic complexity and, complicated, compositional framework that comes with other types of music that I work with, like jazz music and even a lot of classical type of music that I tend to play or perform, or even look into composing as well. I do a bit of that to a certain degree. So it's like, I don't know. It's like modern pop music. Can Wow, people in Cameroon really need to know how to drive. I'll tell you about that later. That'll be another video too. But it's almost like whenever I put on any pop music, and you could think of, as pop as it gets, I'm talking Katy Perry or, Justin Bieber, or even, crappy boy bands like One Direction. It's sort of like, a relax on my ears. The way I sort of look at it as being a musician, I'd almost would have to say is like being in a marathon or something, or like a 5K or something. I don't know if I'd say a marathon. There are people who are sprinting the whole way, who are really putting a bunch of effort into it. This represents, maybe very complex levels of music. Now, we all know, the music that reigns supreme above all types of music is jazz. And then you have a close second, which would be maybe, I'd say 19th century classical music. And then you've got sort of, the next layer down, which is jogging, and the type of music that would correspond to that, I would say, maybe would be sort of film music. And these are just generalizations, so, take this with a grain of salt. Rock music, video game music. And then there's just casually walking along, with this modern hip-hop, rap, and pop. All that trashy stuff that's going on today that everybody my age is listening to, and that universities are going to be studying in 100 years or something. Because what's going to happen. 100 years ago, you had all these people saying that jazz music was just a bunch of trashy, music that, represents a, deteriorating culture. The same way people, like to crap on modern pop music. So there's a little bit of juvenoia in that. But, I don't know. It's just sort of relaxing. In an odd way. I guess that's most of what I have today. This is Billy Q signing out.